Hello, folks. Red Labor here. Hope this day finds you well. What I'm going to talk about is kind of old hat, but I feel like it needs to be addressed because I'm bothered as a leftist by this really politically correct bullshit that transpire on the left. A lot of self-righteous, self-absorbed moralizing that I expect to hear at Tea Party rallies being done by otherwise sensible people that I like to refer to as the left. What am I talking about? Well, I want to talk about something at the age of 44 that's part of my cultural identity. I'm 44 years old. I grew up listening to a lot of punk rock and new wave. Yeah, cliche as it is, I listened to the Sex Pistols. I listened to Sid Vicious as a solo artist, and I listened to PiL, especially in the early days, Public Image Limited, when they were very post-punk. But the thing about it is that I've always respected Johnny Rotten, or now known as Johnny Lydon, from the Sex Pistols, PiL, Public Image Limited. And this is old news, but I feel like it's connected to the subject at hand with regard to how the left handles the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. Let me start by saying that I have a problem with the Boycott Israel Campaign. I just won't have it. I won't support it because it's very selective in outrage. You're going to tell me that when you call Israel an apartheid state as if they're the worst country in the world, and I'm not saying two wrongs make a right, I'm not saying the Palestinians are treated with dignity and treated very wonderfully in Israel or in the West Bank, but what I'm saying is, you're going to tell me that whatever goes on with the Palestinians in Israel, that's not worse than the Iranian government persecuting homosexuals, executing them. That's not worse than Hezbollah in southern Lebanon declaring war against the Lebanese Communist Party. That's not worse than Hamas and the Gaza Strip hiding behind women and children, firing rockets into southern Israel, knowing full damn well what the repercussions are going to be. I mean, or the treatment of Jews in Morocco, or the way women were treated under the Taliban in Afghanistan prior to 9/11. Now, before some of you on the left write me off as some neoconservative schmuck, I am anything but. I despised the Bush doctrine during the Bush years. Going to Iraq was wrong. We can have a debate about Afghanistan, but going into Iraq was wrong from the get-go. And all it did is just made Iraq more of an Islamic jihadist state. And what went on in Libya, what is currently going on in Syria, is an extension of what happened during the Bush years. And my problem with Obama is, on foreign policy, he's continuing a lot of the bullshit from the George W. Bush years. But to sit there and to criticize performers like Johnny Lydon from Public Image Limited because he decides to play in Israel several years ago. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, playing in Israel is not the same as playing in South Africa during the days of apartheid. Okay, all right. Two different things. They're both so different. One is not connected to the other. So I don't want to hear that shit. And what better way for the problematic features and the problematic situation in Israel to improve situation than to have people play and perform in Israel. And it's not like Johnny Lydon is an anti-Muslim extremist. He did a song He did a song. Well, he's been accused of many things. And there's a Mother Jones article where he said he's been accused of many things in his life. But there's some songs like "For Enclosed Walls Tonight," which is a non-judgmental song from inside the head of a Muslim extremist. And I like his response. You can't be telling me that the Israeli government is sponsoring that. So the thing is to sit there and to boycott Israel. It means just to be self-indignant and politically correct. That I would never endorse a boycott Israeli campaign. Now, if you came up to me instead and tell me to support Palestinians, buy Palestinian products, and give solidarity to the Palestinian people, I'm all for that. I'm all for that because I do support the two-state solution, and I support a divided capital. I support peaceful coexistence, and I support secular moderates on both fucking sides. Yeah, I will tell you, fuck Hamas in the Gaza. I got no time for Hamas. They were legitimized, unfortunately, a decade ago by the Bush administration when they pressured the Palestinian territory into holding elections in Gaza. And you see the shit that just happened. So, I have no time for Hamas, and I have no time for Hezbollah. I have no time for the Likud party in Israel. But who do I have time for? Secular moderates. No matter where you stand on the Israeli-Palestinian crisis, you're going to want secular moderates on both sides doing the negotiating. Because if one side is the absolute victor over the other, you will have genocide. You don't have genocide against the Palestinian people in the world. You do have mistreatment to some extent, and you got a country that is illegally occupied, that needs to be independent and sovereign. But there's no genocide going on. It can't be compared with the Nazis. Can't be compared with South Africa's apartheid system. So I mean, I don't give a blanket a seal of approval to everything Israel do. I mean, I hate to see Benjamin Netanyahu as the prime minister. He's a sack of shit. But at the same time, it's like, why just acting like one country is the most evil country in the world and the cause of all the misery and evil on this planet? Because that's what it sounds like, folks. It sounds like anti-Semitism. Legitimate criticism of Israel is not anti-Semitic. It should be encouraged. But to act like they're the source of all the evil in the world, that's anti-Semitism, whether it's intentional or not. And I think it's probably not intentional for many folks on the left. They and because there's a lot of Jews they're involved with the Boycott Israel campaign too. But the thing about it is, why the double standard? I mean, I see nothing but a double standard when it comes to the whole Israel situation, and maybe I'm just too hung up as a member of the political old left, the pre-1960s left. But as a socialist, I do support the state of Israel and declare myself, even though I'm not Jewish, a labor Zionist or a socialist Zionist accordingly. But John Lydon is correct, and I'm glad to see somebody out there thinking that if you support the Boycott Israel campaign, you're actually contributing to anti-Semitism, whether that is the intention or not. Food for thought, folks. I know that this probably could possibly go semi-viral among otherwise sensible leftist types, but you can't say that I dance around the issue. Take care, folks. Comment away. Give me your good, bad, indifferent comments. I may talk to you. I may talk back at you. But we'll talk. Take care. Have a great evening.